Oh mama, oh papa, welcome back to the Eurovision Fam stream, you guys. Yeah, so we just had the Junior Eurovision show. We're going to be talking about that, but we also have a lot of updates from the adult contest, and a lot of stuff is going to be happening within a few hours and within the next few days and a couple weeks. It's starting to get really exciting. This is how you could tell that we're in the December of the season. It's because everything is kind of starting to pick up right after Junior Eurovision ends.
Mhm.
And speaking of Junior Eurovision, Francis Lissandro won with Oh Mama. He won the jury vote with 132 points and came third with the televote with 71 points, total combined 203 points. And kind of just like a Junior Eurovision tradition, the host country got second place or whereabouts. Armenia placed second. Nared Dance, that was a fantastic performance as well. Georgia also got third place. Ireland got fourth place. And the hotly contested televote winner, the United Kingdom, came fifth overall, getting 80 televote points, which is absolutely insane. Um, so with the show, I super loved it. I really enjoyed it. I really always love
Yeah.
being able to see these kids like just give it their all on stage. I do want to address something though, and this is a concern that has been mine since I want to say since 2020, since the beginning of kind of like the pandemic years, but even a little bit prior to then. Junior Eurovision, I noticed, has a problem with singers who are sick. Singers tend to get sick way too often for this show, and
Yeah.
it's devastating because these kids, they are working for so long. This is a dream come true for them, only for their health not to be completely 100% safeguarded during the show. And that's really it's almost heartbreaking to me because
Mhm.
uh I don't know, as someone who could be like an epidemiologist, if I were like taking a look at this show and knowing that it was my responsibility to watch over the health of all these kids to make sure just things go well in general, I would be disappointed in myself. And that is something that I feel needs to be addressed with the European Broadcasting Union, the fact that these kids always get sick.
I mean, it's kids in the wintertime. It's kids in like November and December.
I know, but I mean
It's
like
like, how are you going to stop them from getting sick? That's my question. That's my first question because I don't know about you, but I know once I left school, I didn't get sick nearly as often.
mm, mm. I mean, I guess that's true. Kids get sick in the winter, but it's not fair because I mean, like, we know this. The whole world knows
Hmm.
this. I feel like we should be a bit more careful because I hate seeing the disappointment that they have when they realize that they're not going to be able to like hit the note that they want to. It could just be a little, yeah. But
I agree with you completely on that. I wish they didn't get sick like they did, but it's like, how are we going to stop them from getting sick?
I mean, realistically, yeah, I know.
It's just one of those things where like that's the nature of the beast. You can put Junior. I feel like you could put Junior any time of year, and you're gonna have that same kind of problem. Um,
Okay.
just because I feel like I feel like kids just are always sick. It's what they do. Now
Mm.
having older children, it could be worse. Like I mean, if it was like if Junior included like 5 through like 10 and no teenagers, it would be worse. I promise you. Like it's just like kids always like every killed I've well, every illness I've had since the pandemic started was given to me by a baby,
Mm,
and
okay.
I didn't even touch him. He was just in my house. He got me
Uh,
sick.
well, okay, everyone. It turns out this isn't a problem with the EBU. This is just me not knowing how kids work.
I mean, I'm, but then he goes to daycare, and like daycare is like the land of illness. I feel like for children.
Yeah. My best friend
Um,
is actually she's a childcare professional and she gets sick like every other week. It's terrible.
yeah, my best friend's a middle school teacher. I don't know why she isn't ill all the time. Like, I think maybe it's because what she teaches, they kind of are more careful with those kids because she's like a special ed educator. So
That
maybe
was probably
they're
the
more
sickest I've ever
careful.
been in middle school though. Like that was like one of the nastiest periods of my life.
I
It
don't know
could
why
just be
anyone would
American
teach
middle
middle
school. It could
school.
just be the fact that like
No,
it's here in the US.
no. All teenage like all preteens are psychopaths. It's I promise you,
Heard it
this
here
has been
first, folks.
scientifically studied. It started the reason I say that is because someone on TikTok was like, things that would send an American into a coma, and she was British, and she's like, a year 7. We have psychopathic year sevens. Those are called seventh graders here.
We don't
Have you
call
never
them year
met them?
sevens, but I mean they're the same bad
It's
kids.
the same. It's like, have you ever? I'm like a 14-year-old. I'm like, I met 14-year-olds in America that terrify me. Like
I was a 14-year-old
14-year-olds are
that
the worst
terrified
people on
Philip.
earth. Yeah, 14-year-olds are the worst people on earth, period. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, with the
But yeah, I
exception
mean,
of these Junior Eurovision kids, though, because they're excellent.
exactly. We love them. They're actually like they're not gonna beat you over the head with a textbook. But yeah, like
No,
I want to
they're
kind of talk about
well-behaved
this.
kids.
Let's
But,
kind of go ahead and just talk about those songs in the top five again. So we
yes.
mentioned that France had won.
Mhm. I
Um,
wasn't really expecting
yeah,
this. I noticed a lot of people were not expecting the French win, but, in watching it, I just saw, like, how much he was able to deliver, like, so much of his
yeah,
personality, and I was like, "Ah, I see." And his winning moment
yeah.
was it was so precious. You could tell that he really, really wanted this. And,
He's
yeah,
an
it's just really
yeah, he's
heartwarming
like
to see.
he's an absolute ball of charisma. There's no
Mhm.
other way to put it. Like he's so engaging and
Charismatic.
so like he's someone who like you just like you want to cheer for. So I totally get why he won. I know personally that song wasn't really on my radar to win.
Mhm.
But I liked his performance and I found him to be really engaging and really,
Yeah.
really someone who brought it. And let's just say I don't feel like Barbara Pravi is leaving the basement of France's network
She's trapped
anytime soon.
like,
She's
her
trapped there to
tenure
just
was
write
just
songs.
extended for another 5 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Barbara. I hope someone is, I hope someone is, like, getting her coffee or something.
yeah. She's down there in that basement. Like they're just hoping she has another gym in her. And then second place was Armenia
Dance,
or
dance,
Georgia.
dance. Uh-huh.
I don't,
It was our
I don't remember
girl
which one it was.
Nare.
Yeah,
So good.
I loved it. I
Armenia's
love the
always
disco ball
excellent.
heads. I love the disco ball heads that put on the dancers up for the song.
I wasn't expecting that either. That was a lot of fun.
I was like, yeah, I want one of those for myself. Like, can they see? I wanted to know if they could see because if they could see, I would
I
love
was
to have one of
scared
those
because, like, that
masks.
looks like you wouldn't be able to see. I feel like it's, like, a thick material, so you're doing guesswork.
Yeah, yeah. But I thought again that was a great performance.
Mhm.
It was really engaging, really cheerful, and I you know what, getting second place totally makes sense for that one.
Yep, yep.
Um, third. What's third?
3rd place was Georgia.
Oh, thank you. I
Art.
yes,
That was just art.
like
And
art.
not to mention, that was probably my favorite vocal performance of the group.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely
She
insane. It was
we knew
incredible.
it was gonna get it's artistic. It was I have nothing to say besides just art. Like
Mhm.
that was
Yeah,
already on my radar to do well because I mean, personally for me, I think that was like my number two.
yeah.
No, my number three or two. Fantastic. So happy Ireland came fourth.
That I felt that coming. I had a feeling like this is a top 5 finish. I just got a feeling. Despite her being sick, she managed to sing on key the whole time, which is
Yeah.
extremely hard to do when you have a respiratory illness.
Yeah, no. She was fantastic. I
Mhm.
was not expecting her to come fourth. I'm not gonna lie. Just because I feel like Ireland doesn't do as well as I think they should do.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
So I felt like they should have been top five every year they've been through, like done junior. But to see them finally get like that top five finish, love it.
The best
So
Irish result
happy for
ever.
her. I didn't know she was sick. That's how good she sounded. Like,
Mhm. Yeah. I think I found out
and then
she
her
was
little
sick
sister
around the same
presenting the
time.
points.
Wait, what?
Her little sister presented the points for Ireland,
Is that
and
why
she
she
was
looked
just
like her? I was like, "Who is this little
yeah.
Sophie?"
She said, "Can you guess whose big little sister I am?" And I was
Um
like, "Duh."
It's like, let's see, we see the same face next to the same flag.
Yeah. And the UK,
Oh,
spectacular.
I mean, that was gonna be a televote winner. That has televote winner, like, all over it, but not to mention, she was also sick, and it was extremely difficult for her to perform, and she still did it. Incredible.
Yeah,
And she was, like, so engaging up there, she did all of her choreography, and yeah, I do see why she won the televote. It's not hard to surmise that.
you know, little
Mhm.
star right there. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic performance from from Freya. Like,
Yeah.
great. Oh, was there
Yeah, the
anything that
podcast, too.
surprised you? Maybe like any results that may have surprised you?
My top two getting bottom two again. Like that happens to me so frequently,
Okay.
you guys. I'm numb to that. I'm numb.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what happened. Like,
I mean, I don't
I
either, because I mean, results really aren't that important, especially for the junior contest. But I just find it so funny how this is another year where the top two songs that I think, yeah, let's go, guys, ended up not being so popular among the other crowd.
yeah. I think for me, the one that's I was surprised not to see Portugal down in that bottom section.
I think
Like,
I saw the rehearsal snapshots, and I was like, he's gonna get top 10 at the very least.
I thought the one they had put online wasn't very good. To be honest, I didn't
Mm.
like that rehearsal clip. I love the full performance once we got the full performance.
Hmm.
I think they just chose a bad clip,
Hmm.
personally.
Which they
But
do
I was just
sometimes.
surprised. Yeah, I was just surprised to see how well it was received by other people because I think it was just a song that was a bit jarring to some.
Mhm.
Um,
Definitely more divisive, probably the most divisive out of all the songs, so a big risk was always gonna be taken.
yeah. Just kind of clicking on
Armenia,
some things.
Croatia, and I forgot my third vote. Anyone really could have been the third vote because, I mean, how do you choose between only three, you know?
I voted for Portugal, Georgia, and Italy. Those were my 3 votes.
I voted Malta,
Uh,
Kazakhstan, Georgia. Yeah.
Speaking of Kazakhstan, Peter says Kazakhstan ignored by the juries. I don't know what happened. I'm
Yeah.
still confused. I don't know what the juries. I
There's
don't
some,
know.
I almost want to say there's some kind of like, I feel like people might be getting bored of the Kazakh formula. I'm not. I'm not bored of it, but I do understand how um maybe doing this kind of thing every year could be kind of like diluting. But
Yeah,
beside the point, I don't understand why the juries ignored David. So the bottom two coming
yeah,
in.
because I feel like the juries aren't really affected by what happened previous years. Maybe Kazakhstan just needs to switch it up a little bit.
Georgios mentions that the bottom two, he saw the bottom two coming, unfortunately, because they didn't make enough impact. Unfortunately, despite having good songs, and for Kazakhstan, they didn't choose a good recap clip. All very reasonable responses, and honestly, I could see how that had quite a salient influence on the
Yeah,
overall results. But I'm just happy to see that they gave it their all on stage. Like that is the number one thing that kind of gives me the satisfaction of knowing that they went all the way out to Yerevan to perform.
yeah. I'm thinking thing is the bottom two were Kazakhstan and Malta.
Mhm.
So Malta, my best guess as to what happened there was like a disconnect between the performer and the song, maybe because
Okay.
like the lyrics of the song are very juvenile, and the performer she looks more mature.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like base
I
like
could see that.
kind of a
Yeah.
disconnect in the way she looks and the song she's singing. Maybe people because that's like my biggest thing when I look at like if I hear just the song, I feel different from it than if I see her as well. Just because
Mm.
like she looks too old to be singing the song. I don't know how old she is. She could be, 10 years old and just look older. That happens and it happened to me. But you know what I mean? Like there's kind of a disconnect there.
Mhm.
Um that would be my best guess as to what happened with Malta. With Kazakhstan, I'm maybe like they was mentioned the rehearsal clip, the clip they chose wasn't the best.
Mm.
Things like that. I'm just kind of taking a look here.
Mhm.
And then there's one other thing. Okay, so Yulia Cicero says that Gaia is 4. That was her name was Gaia, right? Yeah.
Gaia, yeah.
Gaia was 14.
Okay.
So
So
yeah, the
she's at
song
the
doesn't seem.
upper age limit of junior then.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a song for a 14-year-old. You know
I
what I
I
mean? Like,
can I can understand that sentiment. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a song for a 14-year-old. It's definitely more of a junior Eurovision song, but moving in the direction more of junior. So like if this were sung by someone who were younger, I could see how it might have been able to leave a bigger impact on the international crowd. But I was just disappointed because I love the song so much, and I love Gaia's
yeah,
charisma. Best of luck to Gaia, best of luck to David, best of luck to all of the acts this Junior Eurovision. It's
Yeah.
extremely hard to do a show like this, especially when you're a child. So
Yeah.
congratulations, everyone. It was fantastic. I loved the show overall.
Yeah, and then one more thing I just wanted to touch on real quick was that interval act. I love the interval.
That
our,
interval
our, our junior medley.
these grown-ups. once I saw that click clack Dutch kid, I was like, there is no way they invited, I want to say, like half of the winners back. So we at least heard all of the winning tracks, like from that
Yeah,
fantastic chorus of Armenian kids who were singing in like 9 different languages. Great job to y'all. Y'all are just as fantastic. But
they're the real
everyone came
superstars
up.
of the night.
Zika beat.
I was into it. Like,
I
my
was so
only
into
complaint
it.
is I wish it was longer.
Oh, another thing
Yeah.
too. I was kind of like thinking, oh wow, so Mariam Mamardashvili is going to be back. Why was she wearing the same dress that she was 6 years ago?
I think they just made it bigger because, like, if you look at their outfits, all their outfits were like the outfits they wore as kids, but like
Oh, you're
a
right.
grown-up version of it.
That's the point. That was the
Did you
point.
not notice that?
I didn't notice that. I was like, wait, Mariam's wearing the same dress.
I mean,
Think
well, it was like
harder.
at least the same colors. Like
Mhm.
the bee one, they weren't dressed like bees, but they were bee adjacent with
Yeah,
coloring.
they were dressed in
Quick,
yellow, but tastefully, not subwoofery.
yeah, everyone that called back to what they wore when they won.
It's so nice to see that they have such like a warm relationship still with their Junior Eurovision memories. Like, because to see them back, it's just like I mean, I only started watching in 2016, but growing up and them growing up alongside me in that sense
Mhm.
with the same contest, it's really heartwarming.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree with that. So it was just nice to see everyone again. Um, all right, and then we have other stuff to go into today.
Yes, we do, like
We
the adult contest, you guys. Oh, fun fact. So this stream ends in about I want to say like a little over half an hour or so. 24
Yeah,
hours from then, we will have our first Eurovision song of the season from Ukraine.
and I mean, once the stream is over, I think that's when Sanremo Giovanni begins too.
Yeah.
So
Oh my goodness.
we're
Like this
busy
is
this weekend.
ah! I mean, so much is going on in the fan of Eurovision lifestyle, but that's okay. We're here for you guys.
All right, so yeah, and then let's see here. It looks like we got the artists that will be competing at Dora this week.
Yay! Doris.
So we've got out of 196 entries, they've been whittled down to 18, and then 2 backups in case anyone gets. I'm sorry, 4 backups in case people get sick. So the people who'd be trying to compete, or the people and song titles for who's trying to represent Croatia at Eurovision this year are oh my gosh, Jordan, could you read those? I cannot see. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, all good. If you need me to do any reading today, just let me know.
Uh,
I got my glasses.
I Fun fact, Jordan woke me up like 2 minutes before the stream was supposed to start. I
But
didn't
I
grab my
mean, like
glasses,
we're
so I
still
couldn't
within
see.
like the 10-minute like time frame of start where it's just like okay, it's not a complete hot mess.
Yeah.
But setting that aside, you guys, I'm going to do my best to pronounce this Croatian. So here are the 18 semi-pre-selected acts. We have Barbara Munja singing Putem Snova. We have Boris Stock singing Grije. Damir Kedjo is back from the selection Dora 2020 when he won with Vili Vetre, but this year he's going to be singing Angels and Demons. Detour will be singing Master Blaster. First time I'm seeing that song title. Eni Jurisic will be singing Kreni Dalje. Hana Masic will be singing Nesreća. Harmonia Dissonance will be singing Nevera, also known as Lele. Kresha and Kizele Kishe will be singing Kme Kme. Let 3 will be singing Mama Shich, I think. Maya Gurcic will be singing I Still Live. Martha May will be singing Distance. Mary Andrakovic will be singing Bye Bye Blonde. Ooh, what a title. Patricia
Mhm.
Gasparini will be singing I Will Wait. Tayana Bellina will be singing Dom. The Splitters will be singing Lost and Found. Top of the Pops featuring Mario Srekovic will be singing Putovanje. Yogi will be singing Love at First Sight, and finally, Jana will be singing Free Fallen. And those are the 18 so far selected songs for Croatia if if people stay healthy.
Yeah. And then because we already mentioned the mirrors back.
Mhm,
Um, there's not really any other returnees that were listed there. But there is any Josic who did have like the number one hit song in Croatia this year,
mhm.
and she is nominated for like Song of the Year with that same song. It's called Trepesh Linier. So I'm kind of excited to see what she's gonna bring, especially like if you're getting someone who charted like top charted in your country to
Mhm.
compete. Good. That's a good sign.
Yeah,
And
I mean, heavy hitters in the industry coming for a contest like this, that's really reassuring.
yeah, it's a good sign for the contest.
Mhm,
Now that's kind of basically everything that happened with Dora. I
mhm.
did already see someone mention this. I'm going to just pull it up. That's our next topic. Belgium snippets we have had this week that
Yes, and
we're going to
let's
be
get into
talking
that
about
next.
today.
That's actually
Yeah.
the next topic, I think, like, right up next.
You read my notes.
Peter,
So do you want to
you have, like, mind.
go ahead and go through the list of those artists and songs?
Yeah. So, you guys, the snippets of the 14 songs, and we only have snippets so far, that'll be trying to represent Belgium at Eurovision 23, were released, I believe, like yesterday or 2 days ago. The national final will be held on
Mhm.
January 14th, so it's coming up in about a month. Competing songs and artists include. Okay, so just to remind you guys, this Belgian national selection, each act has two songs to be competing. So this is why I'm going to be saying the name of the artist and their
It's
two
so
songs.
Eurovision 1956.
It
So
is, yeah,
Eurovision
but I love it.
1956.
Like we don't have contests like this anymore. It's so unique.
Mm-mm.
So the artists are Amira, who will be singing Armageddon and The Carnival. Shireen, who will be singing Ça m'ennuie pas and Mon Étoile. Galadrago, who will be singing Emotionally and T'inquiète. Gustav, who will be singing Because of You and The Nail. Hunter Falls, who will be singing Home and Oh La La. Loredana, not Italian Loredana, but Loredana will be singing Dream in Colors and You Lift Me Up. The Starlings will be singing Oceanside and Roller Coaster. Do you have thoughts
Mhm.
so far, my darling?
You know what? I'm gonna highlight a comment real quick. Um, because from Julia Cicero,
Mhm.
and IMO. There's only three that are proper bad. Agree.
Hey,
I
I
went
mean,
into
like
this.
you talk.
I went into this with my expectations on the floor. Like I
Mm,
was like, it's Belgium. It's a national final from Belgium.
mhm.
Everyone is singing two songs. No,
Am I
this is gonna
walking
be
asleep, dreaming awake?
this is gonna be bad. That was
Or
my
like
first thought. I was
Lavina?
like, oh, I was like, this is gonna be hard to get through. Yeah, like Lavina, like that German national final.
Because that was, I
That
believe, the last time we had something like this.
oh my gosh, you're right.
Like where it's like, okay, you got two songs, but you have no say in what the song sounds like, and it doesn't matter if it sounds like it suits you.
Yeah,
But
like
that was back then. This is now. Now it's
yeah, like there were
Belgian
only
act.
like there weren't very many. Like I was surprised. I found most of the songs to be something I could listen to
Yeah.
more than once. But overall, my impact is kind of like this is a bit average. Um, I kind of feel like, but this is just based off of snippets though, so we don't have like the full
Snippets.
song.
We don't have, as a matter of fact, like who's to say that they even highlighted the part of the song that needs to be highlighted? You know, that's we always
Exactly,
play the
that's my
guess.
point. That's my point. So it's like I have I'm judging this off of just like that's why I don't like it when people use a brief little clip of a song to tell like to rank Eurovision songs because like you're getting just
It's
a
not
little
realistic.
piece of it. You don't know what the whole overall thing is because it could be something that like they're just choosing something that's not the best. So that's why I kind of like take my opinions with a grain of salt here.
Mhm.
But there are only three. I was like, no, I can't do this. And like I said, the overall impression I have was very mid. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But there were a couple that did stand out to me. If you want to kind of go over your first impressions first.
Yeah, so I do agree. These snippets, the parts that were highlighted, did make these songs come off as mid. I'm not gonna lie. and it could be what Lily said. It could be the fact that they highlighted certain parts that they're not trying to show like the most exemplary parts of the songs, but at the same time, well, we as Eurovision media and Eurovision fans, we pay very close attention to when they make decisions like this. And if the decision isn't made well, then it can sometimes reflect badly on before we go into the contest. Aside from that, though, I do believe that we have a lot of competent vocalists here. I have a funny thought,
Mhm.
though. My funny thought is this kind of strikes me as like office choir club with like Eurovision dreams who are like who are like going up against each other. It's like, listen, Susan from finance, I'm gonna be the one to go to Eurovision. Like I get office choir club vibes. Like and stop. I do have some standouts, you guys, and the funny thing is, all of my standouts aren't the French language songs. Actually, I thought those were all the most.
Thank you. We're on the same page completely then. 100% with that. Also, we're on the same page with Julia. I was eyeballing this comment like I'm waiting for Jordan to stop speaking, and then I'm gonna. I love Gala Drago and Shireen. I'm going
Yes.
with French pronunciations on those because the songs were partially for Gala, her songs were in French, and then the
Mhm.
other Shireen songs were completely in French. Number one, this is the Flemish broadcaster. This isn't the Wallonian broadcaster. I gotta remember, this wasn't the
Yeah.
Wallonian broadcaster. So I wasn't ready for French. I was like, oh, it's gonna all
Neither
be in
was
English
I.
because people. I'm like, it's gonna all be in English because people from the Netherlands and people from like Belgium or Flanders, they don't like to speak their native languages.
That was so
I,
surprising, you guys. Like, when was the last time we heard Belgium sing in French? The last time?
back when we had the language rules still, unless you want
Wait.
to count Jador
Oh.
from like,
Oh yeah.
but
Je
that was only the
t'adore.
word Jador. That was that was not in English. Um, I Yeah, I don't know. But those were the two of them, both of their songs I enjoyed completely.
Mhm.
Shireen is very
Other than
much
fake Cameron Diaz singing Je t'adore, we do have three of these French language songs. We do have the three French language songs, and in my opinion, I feel like they're the best composed of the rest of the tracks. It could just be that I don't like the English lyricism of the English tracks, but the French ones I do feel like are a lot more delicate. And you know me, I like delicacy.
like I think Shireen is giving us very much like late 90s French pop, like that kind of like coquettish
Mhm.
vibe to it.
Yeah.
That's when I first started listening to French pop music, so I'm over there vibing with her. I'm like, yes, let's go.
Mhm.
Gala, I feel is like a more Belgian French. Well, she's trying to represent Belgium, but like there's a darkness there. I don't know why. In my head, I always think like Belgian people. I think of like dark colors,
Yeah.
structured
Dark
outfits,
music.
and like a little gothy edge. I I don't know why. I just like
No,
when I think
I
of
get
like
that. I get that same aesthetic for some reason.
yeah, mentally that's where I don't know where it comes from. I think it comes from fashion designers, if I'm being completely honest. But like
Mm,
it feels like an overall very like artistic Belgian package from
mhm,
Gala. And yeah, no, like the two of them, and I liked both of Gala's songs
mhm.
a lot. So those would be the two I'd be looking at the most. Question from Peter: do we know how the voting in Belgium will be? No idea yet.
I
I would
know.
love to
Okay.
know. I
Yeah,
would
if
love to
if
know.
someone does know and they'll be able to tell us, then that would be great because how is this gonna go? No clue at all.
Yeah, yeah. I if it's gonna be like it was in Germany, where the last round is the same person singing against themselves with their other song, it might go that way. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think it's bad. Yeah,
Germany only did that because they had to meet the terms of the contract.
I, gosh, Germany's national final.
Ah,
I, I hate
well,
to
I
keep
mean,
mentioning it, but y'all.
we'll cross that bridge when we get to it because I have all kinds of thoughts about their or like just their setup to even get started for their Eurovision season.
Yeah,
Homily.
and there's one more comment I just wanted to highlight for Belgium here real quick, which is from Larendy, I never have seen you in chat. I think I've seen you in chat a couple times. So hi, Larendy.
Hi.
But they're playing it too safe.
I
I
agree.
agree. I
Hmm.
think Belgium is
They
playing it
are.
very safe with these songs. The only ones that take risks
Yeah.
are the ones in French. And
But
like the
even
only
then,
reason I
I mean,
think
they still do seem like it isn't like a ton risky.
no,
I do
I was
still
gonna say
feel,
the only risk they're taking is being not in English.
yeah. We got
Really.
a vanilla situation going on in Belgium, but then again, these are pre-revamped, these are pre-final live performance, these are pre-full song. So it might have just been what they highlighted that makes it feel safe.
Yeah. Um
I hope that's not
yeah.
the case.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
But from Belgium we go to Vidbir, which is happening
Woo!
tomorrow, and we're gonna be discussing the Vidbir entries. I'm gonna
Mhm.
need you to read again, Jordan, because I can't see.
All good. So yeah, you guys, 24 hours from this exact moment, we're gonna be waiting for the results for the selection between these 10 songs, these 10 artists. So we're gonna see the performances tomorrow in Vidbir of
Mhm.
Moisi, who will be singing I'm Not Alone, Oi Sound System, who will be singing Oi Toujours, Demchuk, who will be singing Alive, Jerry Hayo, who will be singing When God Shut the Door, Finka, who will be singing Dovbush, Grut, who's coming back with Koliskova, Timber Blanche singing Yavdoma, Angelina singing Stronger, Two Tone singing Kvitka, and Tvorchi singing Heart of Steel.
And that's the running order.
That is the running order, you guys. That is the order that they're going to be performing in. Ah, how is this already
So I think
happening?
let's kind of go like you give one song, we talk about that, like kind of like back and forth that way. So do you want to start off like a song you wanted to talk about?
Yes. So I'm gonna. If you've seen my username now on Twitter, it's I have Kvitka next to my name, and it's because Two Tone Song has quickly become one of my favorites out of this lineup. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Okay.
It might just be the strong rock melody. It might just be the fact that there's a little bit of like a punchiness to it. It might be the fact that it kind of reminds me of the Hard Kisses tracks, which is if you know me, that's one of my favorite bands like of all time, and Yulia Sanina is one of my favorite vocalists of all time. It might be the fact that it kind of glances in that direction, but something about it, I'm really, really drawn to this song. I wasn't expecting it because I really do like a lot of these other songs and I love the diversity here. But I feel like Kvitka
Hmm.
is one that I need to highlight because I don't see enough attention drawn to it.
I mean, to me, I like the heaviness of the instrumental on it. For me, I just don't, and I like the vocals separate. But like, it's something about like the combination of the vocals from the two sing, because both of them sing on it, I believe, combined with the music itself. It's just that the combination of the two isn't really clicking for me personally.
Mm,
Um, and here's the thing: like, I don't think anything in Vidbeer is bad,
mhm,
at all. Um, I just, it's like for me, that one's just not on my list of favorites, just because of that difference. But I do like that. Like, I do like the instrumental. Like, if there was no vocal on this, I'm like, yeah,
mhm.
I'm vibing with the song every time I'm not hearing a voice.
Yeah.
Um, it's just like the two together. It's giving me very much like new metal,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
I can kind of pick up on that. And I mean, like, I was like in kindergarten when new metal was kind of popping off in culture. So that was part of like my development and stuff.
Let me go to my retirement home. Um, I remember new metal.
Hey, I mean, so do I, but barely. Like I was just kind of cognizant.
So
Is there a song you want to
there was a
highlight?
person. Thank you for keeping me away from the corn joke I was gonna make. Uh,
Well, no, I'm gonna have to hear that anyways. But like,
no, we're just gonna skip it. I think I want to talk about. I'm gonna go Oi Toujours as the first one I want to talk about today. Right, Oi Sound System.
that
I
that is
I
that
love
is
this.
meta art. Like that is once again like
It makes me think
you
of
have to
like
be high concept. You have to understand high concepts to grasp that one.
it makes me think about like wild dances for ravers in a way. Like the beginning of it is giving wild dancer rave.
Mhm.
Then the parts like in the middle, like the where there's no voice happening, those are giving me the rites of spring. which is a ballet. Um, yeah, like mentally, I was like, "Oh my gosh, why is this making me think of like a ballet or like the
Hmm.
planets, which is
Interesting.
a musical suite." Like just like that's where my mind went with them because it's
It's
like just
so
so out
interpretive.
there. I don't know
Yeah.
anything else that sounds like it in the
It
best way
is so
possible.
unique. I was trying to envision, like, what it could look like on stage because I feel like it just changes pace so often. Like, there are so many times in the song where it's just like, okay, like, mentally, I'm seeing the staging concept change just overall. It's really hard to narrow down what's gonna happen up there.
Like, how let me think of the best way. Whenever I hear it, I just see the ballet, the choreography from Rite of Spring
Mm,
whenever I hear it. And it's like a lot of like stomping low down. Like the choreography is like not like ballet that you've seen before. It's very
mhm.
much like anti-ballet. Um,
Ooh, what a
it's
concept,
hard to explain.
anti-ballet. That could be
Um,
actually a way to describe this song, anti-ballet.
I mean, like if you go look up the choreography, go look up what happened when that ballet premiered in Paris. Let's just say there was a riot. Um, like a bunch of French people rioting over ballet. I don't know what else to say besides that happens.
That expression,
Um,
though.
I enjoy it because it's so weird and like it's weird, but it keeps you engaged the whole time.
It does,
I
yeah.
know it's not for everybody, but for me it is. It's for me.
Mhm. And I mean, like, a lot of Ukrainian music actually does sound like this. Kind of like if you've heard Onuka's tracks, they kind of move in
Yeah.
this really like heavy, metally, um, ethnic bop direction. It's all so good. It's really down to the live performance. Exactly, Julia. Which is nerve-wracking because that means the live performance is gonna be decided tomorrow on who's gonna be making it. So, but I do know that a number of these can perform live because we have seen them perform live before. So I already have high expectations for a good handful of these folks.
Yeah. Now I'm sorry. And then who's the next one you wanted to highlight?
The next I would like to highlight is Finca with her song Dovbush. I So you guys, someone tweeted, and I need to find this tweet because I want to credit this person. All of the songs this Vidbir, 9 out of 10, are about hope and strength and courage. Finca's is about wanting to sleep with this man in this music video. It's the only song of its kind, and it is the only song of its kind also in just the way that it sounds and her delivery. This is just pure female sexuality and charisma. That
Mhm.
is a Ukrainian ethnic bop. What could you want more from that? Eurovision is meant for this.
I want it. Give
I
it to
want it.
me.
I
I
mean, I
love
want a lot of
this.
these songs, but this is just like if this went to Eurovision, I would be throwing down. Like,
Yeah. I
mm.
mean, I think this wins the most twerkable track of Vidbeer
Oh, by
award this
far,
year.
no
Like
question. Like, yeah, like no.
Goe had that award for like their two entries they had. And then we go from Goa or Goe to this is up there with that.
Yeah.
You could dance this one real good. I love this. I love Finca. Number one, I already told you when we got the artist announcements, go listen to Finca. You're gonna love her.
I do. Oh my gosh, I was like,
I know your
I put her
taste.
stuff on shuffle, and I was like this. She's ahead of her time. Are you kidding me?
I know your
And then her
taste, so
song
that's what I was
came
like.
out,
Yeah, no, Finca's up his alley.
and then her
Um,
song came out.
when that when the tempo changes and like it goes into chaotic like
I
mess.
said, "You're insane! Like you're absolutely insane! You're crazy for that! Like how could you do that to us? It is so excellent."
I
A
do you know what
tempo change is
kintsugi?
literally marry me. I will marry a tempo change.
Do you know what kintsugi is?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a note that says oral kintsugi. Just
Really?
like because when you listen to it, it kind of like all falls apart,
Mhm.
but when you put it back together, like with okay, for you guys who don't know what kintsugi is, basically it's like a Japanese art form where you take something broken and you put it back together using gold. And
Mhm.
like it kind of highlights the cracks in the piece like the piece that's been broken and like it gives it more beauty in the brokenness.
Mhm.
So
There's a
like
Japanese philosophy behind it. Like look
yeah,
it up on Pinterest. It's super interesting.
but like that's what I hear with the song.
Uh-huh.
It's like because it kind of just falls apart and then gets put back together in a way that kind of highlights the messiness and the broken and
Mhm.
like makes it more arts. Oh, I love this. This is so good.
And it's especially that, like, the beginning sounds like clunky orchestrating, like, kind of like, like, bard camp moving down, like, a wooden path or something, and then it becomes, like, this hip-hop adjacent track that you're just drawn into, and like you said, when it's deconstructed and reconstructed again, it's a completely different monster. This song is strong beyond compare. Finca
You
is my second place. I think it's actually like it's in my top two. It's somewhere in my top two. Julia,
yeah
you got the right idea. And I see a lot of people really, really taking to the song now.
yeah.
Finca's Eurovision. Oh my god, I'd like this to go to Eurovision. And if she kills it live, it could still win. Do
Honestly,
a
in my
double.
opinion,
Do a double.
anything can happen in Vidbir. True, well and truly, anything can happen,
Mhm,
y'all. I kind of know the fandom's kind of focusing on two songs,
mhm.
which are also on my list to highlight. But you know
Yeah.
what? I'll just talk about Dove Bush with Finca because I think she crushed it. Um, so kind of like maybe we should talk about one of the songs. I'll go ahead and talk about one of the songs that the
Yeah.
fandom team tends to really like, which is you know what? It's not as high as people would think it would be. When God Shut the Door for me, by Jerry Heil.
Mhm.
I actually have that
Oh
below
yeah.
Finca
What
too.
are your thoughts on When God Shut the Door? The like, yeah. Big heavy
Um,
hitter, you guys.
so again, I'm gonna go with a cultural reference. Let's talk about real quick, The Fifth Element. This may have been before your time. Uh, yeah, I mean, like, 'cause that's what I have as a musical reference for this one. Um, if you've never seen the movie, there's a like the scene people reference the most in it is an alien singing an aria, an Italian opera aria, and then it descends into like electronic notation that is just beyond wild. Like they had to use a computer to get the vocals um to
It's
work.
before its time, honestly. That was
It is like there's
yeah.
not really that's like the best reference point I have for this.
Mhm.
This song is also before its time. It kind of makes you think, oh, it's gonna just be like a simple piano ballad when it starts off, but then it kind of goes off into a completely different direction.
Oh.
So I kind of notated it as being like the diva dance, but
Mhm.
like if it was let's take out the aria and make that Ukrainian.
They
Um
did that.
yeah, and that's what we have with Jerry.
Literally.
Um Song is creative, it's interesting. There's not really anything just like this. And I love Slavic women's choirs
Oh, yeah, so good.
because like the way the harmonies work, it doesn't sound like anything we have in Western music really.
Mm-mm.
And just
It's
like the
specific training.
harmonies, like make me tingly. Well, it's I say Slavic women's choir because it's not only like Ukrainians who do it. Like
Mhm.
it's Bulgaria. It sounds very similar to Bulgaria women's choir, Bulgarian, Polish. Like it's kind of like a like
Pan-Slavic.
it's like a Eastern. It's like a pan Slavic sound.
Mhm,
Um, that I really like. So I hear that and it gets me goosebumps every time, and I love that.
mhm. Yeah, and, one thing though, I do have a major criticism about the song. It's 2 minutes, 30 seconds! Ah, like, I would
Oh,
love for
we
it to be
lost
longer.
Jordan.
Oh, no, I'm back. Am I here? Hello?
You're back. Could you start again? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, and, you can hear me too, right?
Yes.
Basically what I was saying is one criticism I have about the song, it's only 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Ugh,
Yeah.
like, we
I
we
wish it
could
was
have had
longer.
30 more seconds with you, Jerry. This is time we get to spend with you. Aw, but it's okay because you know what, Jerry, she's been working so insanely hard these last couple months ever since and before Ukraine's situation that they've had going on. Jerry has been hitting the book. She's been hitting the studio,
Mhm.
and this is very much her Vidbir song. Like you could tell that this was the one that she wanted to
Yeah.
send, and I'm really grateful that
Yeah.
she did.
Her output this year has been absolutely fantastic. And she was like leaving comments on everyone's video, like everyone's
Yeah.
songs this week. It was just really sweet. I was like, "Oh, I love her."
She's so sweet. I
Um
know. I'm so mad I was too sick to see her perform in San Francisco like last month. Uh,
Oh,
darn.
right. She was over here in the States.
Yeah,
I forgot
she
about
was,
that.
and I was supposed
Um,
to see her, but then I got the flu. Mm,
oh,
terrible.
I'm sorry you got the
But
flu.
Jerry, we are looking out for that performance because this is another hard one where it's like I cannot at all imagine what it would look like on stage, but Like, I
Yeah.
can't even, like, surmise, like, a single idea.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think I look forward to seeing what this is gonna look like too, because
Mhm.
there's nothing else really like it, competing or that's competed. What's the next one you wanna talk about yourself?
So, the next one I would like to talk about is let's see. I mean, I do want to talk about all of them. We just don't have the time. But Yavdoma by Timber Blanche, that one is just.
That's my winner, personally.
Mm. So, like, remember you guys last year how we often described songs as being like chocolatey, as being like dark, rich, kind of mm, like has a nice like soul to it, has a depth to it. This I would describe as a very chocolatey song. There's a richness to it, but it's not like overwhelming. It's not overpowering. It's just nice and
Mhm.
sweet. What do
Yeah.
you think of it?
I this is one of those songs, like, on paper, it wouldn't attract like, I wouldn't be attracted to it.
Hmm.
It's like acoustic guitars, like the driving instrument. I typically don't like that.
Hmm.
Um, there's not really anything about the song that's, like, out there, in a way that like, usually I like songs that I have to listen to a few times to pick up all the pieces and what's happening with it musically. That doesn't
Hmm.
happen here. The first time I heard this, like, I got the overall song. I didn't really need anything else for some reason. Like, this is one of those ones that just I can't I don't know why I like it so much. I just really, really like it. Like, this is my personal winner, and I can't
Hmm.
tell you why. It's my personal winner. I just find myself drawn to this song. I
That's
wish I
very
could find like
unusual
I
because
wish
this is not formulaically a track that you would like. Like you said, this is
mhm,
formulaically more up my alley.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe you rubbed off on me, Jordan. Who knows? But like
I hope
I
so.
I just I no, we're gonna have a boring year then. But yeah, I just really, really enjoy this song.
Hmm.
It's like there's a familiarity to it. It feels comforting. It feels warm. I I'm into that, you know?
Hmm. And I almost want to say like this is the perfect song to like put on if you're gonna be riding like on a train across the countryside or something. It's a nice song
Yeah.
to just sit with in like a transient zone.
Yeah, it has that vibe.
Hmm.
Just highlighting a comment here from Yulia.
Yeftomi is
Yeah,
so good.
Volma is so good.
It is. It
Agreed.
is.
It's really good.
That's all. That's all there is to it. I mean, we could say that about like a lot of these songs, but a thing is about a lot of these songs, they're trying to go for like a punch. There's kind of like an impact moment. Yavdoma,
Yeah.
it's not trying to do that to be itself.
It's
And it
like it
doesn't.
wants you to sit with it. It's
Hmm.
like going over to grandma's house. You just want to sit and
Yeah,
sit with like you don't need like other ones are kind of more like not going to grandma's house. This is just like that kind of like laid
yeah.
back vibe.
It's like defend grandma's house versus go inside grandma's house and have some tea.
And then with Finko, we're gonna go to grandma's house just to get ready before we go
We're
out.
gonna go to grandma's house because there's a spare bedroom. that's that's Finka's
Just
song.
I love it.
Uh,
But yeah. Is there anyone else you want to talk about?
um, Krut coming back with Koliskova, that song is another song that's that is soft beyond compare. I do want to say that it
Yeah.
has more rise and fall than Yavdoma, but this song is also it also is very incredibly unique and it's not exactly comparable with that song because this one
Yeah,
it's
no.
about it's kind of following the nocturne formula. Like live instrumentation is going to be what carries it forward and what carries like this sense of delicacy and the atmosphere. I do see the live instrumentation being the strongest aspect of this song, but that then again, that's just that's Krut's artistic penmanship.
Yeah.
Like this is someone who
Um,
really knows how to put
agreed.
together an orchestra.
Agreed. That's another one the fandom really likes, and it's one that I personally really like too.
Hmm.
So it means lullaby. Somebody written the I had posted my first reaction video, and someone had given me a translation of the lyrics, um, which are very poetic. Um, I mean, I don't know if you have you looked up the lyrics at all
No, no, no.
for this one?
I haven't seen the English
Okay.
translations of most of these songs.
Okay, so for this one in particular, it's called Lullaby, and it's
Mhm.
it's about the war.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like from a point of view of a mother comforting her child whose father is
Mm.
fighting like off in the front. And it's kind of like giving that kid that comfort and that soothing. as
Wow.
you're trying to, get them to go to bed. So that's kind of what's happening there musically. And then, what that's happening, that's what the song's about, basically.
Mhm.
And then it has like some metaphors and stuff in there that work really nicely. Um, I really like this one. I really do. And like, I think having the bandura is gonna help her. I
Mhm.
looked up what it was called, guys. I was like, I know I need the name of that. So yeah, like the instrument is really gonna help because it's kind of like what draws you into her, and so that she just really needs to sit on stage with with her instrument, and we've got the staging. Nothing really else really needs to happen there.
It would be kind of interesting, if on biggest score out of the 10 this
You
year.
can keep talking, Jordan. Finish your thought.
Hold on, I want to hear what Larini has to say because they're our new friend. Biggest score out of more value after repetition. I agree. And one thing that I actually do have really think is interesting about the song, if they end up selecting it, I would think that it would be kind of additionally poetic because I didn't know that that's what the lyrics were about. But Stefania was about like a child singing to his mother, performing for his mother, and
Yeah,
and it was basically about the love that you have for your mother or your motherland. This is kind of like a call and response to that, being the mother singing the lullaby to the child. That that exchange would just be personally really satisfying. But
yeah,
I do see a lot of these other songs giving me different types of satisfaction, but along the same level of heat. I do
yeah.
that song has grown on me immensely though. Like Koliskova is just I need that as a lullaby.
Hey, Lily, gosh, every time I say your name, I say it differently, girl. Julia Chichiero. Yeah. Golos, Koloskova is amazing. I cried when I read the English lyrics. It works as an overall package.
Mm.
Um, I'm sorry. What are your top three?
Out of Vidbir.
My thoughts about the top. I'm sorry. I was talking to
My thoughts
Laura
about my
Dini.
three.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. I mean, do you want to go over your top three personally?
Sure,
Jordan?
yeah. So heading into this, this is hard. Because I really, really do like a lot of these songs. But I think my top three, as of this moment, would be When God Shut the Door, third place, Kvitka,
Hmm.
second place, and first place, Dovbush. Again, that could change.
Yeah.
That could change completely by tomorrow. That could change in the next hour.
Hold on, let me see, because I did my top three. Yeah, I
Oh,
posted my
you
top
you
10
came
videos
you came in
yesterday.
ready for this.
Well, I wanted to post it before we started the stream today. So I
Mm.
did post my top 10 video.
Now I have Koliskova in my head. That's just how contagious this song is, huh?
It's so beautiful.
Mhm.
I think my top three were Dove Bush. You know what? Let me.
Uh, But again, like my top three could be
Yeah,
your top three.
yeah. My top three were Dove Bush,
Mhm.
and third, Kuliaskova in second, and then Vadoma I'm sorry, Yavadoma is my first place personally.
Mhm. And I mean, I could agree with that list very easily.
Yeah.
Diversity, you guys. This is the importance of diversity. See, Ukraine has grasped this concept, and they are, I want to say, maybe of the three national finals that bring diversity as a statement to show the quality and breadth of music in their country. I want to say like they're in the top three of countries who do that.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of highlighting some of the commenters.
Yeah, talk to
Top
us, you
threes.
guys.
Yeah, Georgios Papadopoulos says top three are we'll go third. I'll read this third to first. So third, Angelina, second is Tvorchi, and first is Jerry Heil. We even talked about Tvorchi at all.
Portuguese is
I
excellent. I think it's
I
great.
like that one. I think
Mhm.
that's a great track as well. Um, it's overall very engaging,
Mhm.
and I already know it's gonna be staged well because Tvorchi knows visual.
Yeah, like
Absolutely knows
they're very
visual.
competent.
And then from Yulia Shichiro, top three are Jerry Heil, Finca, and Oi Sound System.
Voice sound system, like I could see them absolutely slaying because
Yeah,
that is just art.
yeah. And then let's kind of wrap it up with this comment, kind of
Mhm.
because I want to watch San Remo Giovanni. So
Yeah.
next week's stream also will with Albanian song Christmas Spectacular from Ukraine. Yes, we will have Albania song next week too.
Yay!
Festivali Kangas did not release their songs pre-show.
We're gonna be
So
surprised. We're gonna be blindsided,
yeah,
and
next week
like we're just gonna hear it as it
two
comes.
songs next week. So we'll have results from Sanremo Giovanni.
Yes,
We'll have the
the Ukrainians.
Ukrainian song, and we'll also have the Albanian song next week too.
With
So we've
no
got
prep going into it, we are just absolutely taking that shot straight, no chaser. Like,
oh my gosh. And then like it's gonna be a little quiet.
witness.
And then like yeah, like let's get through that because Fic is gonna be a situation. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us for the stream, like always. If you enjoyed the video, it's your first time being here, come on, subscribe. We do this every week.
Every week.
And liking us helps us in the algorithm, leaving comments, same thing. And I'm also in the comments half the time talking. So yeah, that's that. So thank you all so much
Check out
for
Giovanni if you have the
yes.
time. Watch Giovanni.
Yeah, so that's what we have, and that's exactly yes. We'll have the Benidorm Fest songs as well next week too.
I forgot about that. Oh my goodness.
So I'll get the
That's
Benidorm Fest
different
songs
reason to be
on.
nervous.
Yeah, okay. So next week we'll have Benidorm Fest, Festivali Kingus results, and Vidbir results. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll be back next week. So bye
All right,
bye.
love you guys. See you next time.